Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Think Future. My name's Chris Kalaboukis, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking innovation startups, the future, not necessarily those, and not necessarily in that order. If you're watching on YouTube, smack that subscribe button, hit that bell so you'll be notified when a new show comes online. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast service, please subscribe and please drop a note on Apple Podcasts. I greatly appreciate it. Now, you all know, who've been watching me for a while, this is my newest book, 9 Rules from the Future, A Plan and By and For Humanity. I wrote with ChatGPT because ChatGPT, of course, is a subset of humanity. It's a mirror on humanity. So I asked ChatGPT, what do we need to do as human beings so that we can be better? And the answers are in here along with stuff I wrote. So check it out, 9rulesbook.com. You can read the whole thing online or buy a paper copy for $5.55. It's a steal. I'm not making any money on this. It is just printing costs. So let's talk about something that has nothing to do with innovation. Well, maybe it does. Actually, it does have something to do with innovation. So scratch that. The newest innovation in baseball, the pitch clock. Have you heard about this? Maybe if you're not into sports, you may not have heard about this, but people have been complaining. Apparently people have been complaining. Now, I've never had a problem with baseball. I'm a huge Blue Jays fan. I love baseball. I think baseball is a great sport. Hockey's my number one sport, but I also like baseball. I like NBA. I like basketball. I mean, I'm not a huge fan, but I like all these sports for different reasons. I mean, I like hockey and I like basketball for two completely different reasons than I like baseball. But everyone's familiar with the way baseball works, right? I mean, there's literally no time limit. There's no time limit at all. Football, hockey, basketball, they all have to do with time. They all fight the clock, right? So certain amount of time, you have the puck for a certain amount of time. You have periods. You have amount of time. Time can run out when you're playing basketball or football or hockey, right? Time runs out. We're fighting. We're literally, not only are we competing against another team, we're fighting against time. Because time could run out and whoever is ahead at the end of the periods or whatever is the winner, right? But not so with baseball. Not so with baseball. With baseball, there is no timer. Nobody is saying to you, you have to do X or Y within a certain amount of time. That's the whole point of baseball, if you ask me. It was a leisurely game. It was a pastime. It was something that could take a really long period of time or it could take a really short period of time because it's basically 9 innings. And at the end of the 9th inning or at the beginning of the 9th inning, whoever's leading, game's over, right? That's it. So, apparently people have been complaining that since there is no fixed length to a baseball game, that it goes really long. It goes really long. But like I said, that is one of the beauties of baseball, is that it's not on a clock. It's not timed to the second. But I'll go into that in a minute. So all these other games, you kind of have an idea of how long they're going to take, although you never really know because the clock is stopped when there's a stoppage of play, right? Basketball stops. Hockey stops. Football stops. Almost all these other sports stop. They have timeouts. They have things that they can do to slow down the play, to pause the play. Baseball doesn't need any of that because there is no time limit. You can play for as long as you want. And you can have as many runs as you want as long as everybody gets a chance within those 9 innings to play. So, they have decided that it is taking too long for them to play baseball. And we need some new rules to speed things up because it's just taking way too long. So they invented the pitch clock. And the pitch clock is a clock which times the amount of time the pitcher has to throw the pitch. And it's actually multi-purpose. Not only does it time the amount of time the pitcher has to throw the pitch, it also times the amount of time the batter has to get into the batting box. So I think that's 15 seconds or 20 seconds or something like that. There's certain restrictions, 15 to 20 seconds of, at some point it's 15 seconds, another point it's 20 seconds. Oh, I think it's when there's people in the field or not. If there's people in the field, it's 20 seconds. If there's no people in the field, it's 15 seconds or something like that. It's one or the other. But here we are. This is amazing because baseball has been around forever, and it's never had a time limit ever. And now they are introducing a time limit to, I don't know why they were introducing a time limit. I guess there were too many people complaining that it would just go on and on and on. And there was no set time for it. Is this a capitalist, corporatist thing? I don't know. We have to fit it within, watching TV or something like that. The view period of time? I don't know. So if you ask me, this is a bad thing. This is a terrible thing because there are already so many sports that have us fighting time. I mean, we live fighting time. We fight time all the time, right? That is how we live. We live fighting time. We work fighting time. We play fighting time. We live fighting time. Everything is time. We're surrounded by time. Surrounded by it. We have to do this by this time. We have to meet this person at this time. We have to get up at this time. We have to go to bed at this time so we can get up at this time. Time. Time is surrounding us. It's everywhere at work. It's everywhere at home. It's everywhere. So our life is full of time. Need to keep time, need to spend time, need to waste time. Time is everywhere. Except in certain sports like baseball and golf, right? Baseball had no clock because there was no connection to time. Sure, it started at a particular moment, but it could last a long time or a short time. Same with golf. It starts at a particular moment, but it could last a long time or a short time. It wasn't connected to time. So if you think about it, it's a great sport for us to finally connect with nature, to step out of this regimented, time-driven world that we've created for ourselves. Because our world is a time-driven world. Everywhere you look, we are restricted by time. We are tied down by time. We are not allowed to do this or that because of time. Time rules our world. Time rules our entire civilized world. But for a few hours, when you're playing traditional baseball, when you're playing traditional golf, you are disconnected. Other than the start time, you are disconnected from time. It could take you 2 hours, it could take you 4 hours, it could take you whatever. It ends when it ends. You are literally disconnected from time. And if you ask me, we need time to be disconnected from time. We need that period of time where we don't have to care about time. Where it doesn't matter what time it is. Where whatever it is, it's whatever inning we're in. Or whatever the score is. But does it matter that it's 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock? No, it doesn't. We need those kind of pastimes where there is no timekeeping. So if you ask me, this is a negative. I mean, what's next? Are they going to start putting time on golf as well? You have like 30 seconds to make a swing? Pretty soon, time will be everywhere, and there will be no way for us to get away from it. Hopefully, this innovation, quote unquote, falls flat and we can go back to baseball the way it was meant to be. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.